What is up, guys? Another gig log here. This time I'm out at Ryan's Dam, and absolutely beautiful. It's going to be about 67, 70 degrees, something like that today. Another wedding, doing the ceremony and the reception. Today I am trying out my new rock and roller cart, so I'm going to show you guys that. Of course, I'll show you guys the venue and the scenery, actually, because the ceremony's outside and it is gorgeous out here. It's actually right in front of like an electrical dam, so you have the water and it's just beautiful. So we'll get to that here in a minute, show you some of the new gear, and yeah, so let's get to it. Hey guys, before we get too far into this video, I did want to say that I actually ran into some technical difficulties when I started setting up, which actually affected my setup time, and I didn't get as much footage as I wanted to. It was a very beautiful location, but I just didn't get time to go around and catch some footage. So the first issue I had was I ordered some brand new sub poles. They're the poles that go in your subwoofer and you mount your speakers on top of them. And the reason I ordered some new ones, I was tired of the traditional pole having a little bit of wobble to it. I just didn't like that. I mean, they were secure. They definitely weren't going to fall over, but I just didn't like that they kind of swayed back and forth a little bit. So I decided to pick up these new sub poles that are made by Gator Frameworks, and they actually have a threaded bottom so you can screw them into your subwoofer. And so I picked those up, screw them in. They are now super secure. It's perfect. But the issue I was having was at the other end. So the end where I actually put the speaker on top of the pole and the pole goes inside. Well, unfortunately, that little adapter that they have on there just did not fit my speakers very well. It was super loose and super wobbly and actually made the situation worse than just using my original poles. So I had to find a solution to this, and that just ate up a lot of time, and I wasn't able to go around and get a lot of footage of the location and the venue. But I'll show you guys kind of what the situation was with the sub poles and what I was going through. Check it out. So this joint right here is where now I'm getting some wobble. Not only that, I had to put a bunch of tape in here just so it fit the hole of my speaker. This size right here is too big and won't go in there. This side is too small and way too loose. Yeah, that sucks. So that was my first issue that I had. My second issue was where the ceremony was located. You had to cross over a swinging bridge that went over some water, and then there was kind of a small island, and that's where the reception was. Well, I knew that, and that's great. I knew it was kind of going to be pretty far until I got to a power source going into this event, and so I brought extra extension cords, but you know what? It wasn't enough. Despite bringing extra cables, I found that I still needed more extension cables because it was over 400 feet to the nearest plug, which is crazy. I've never been in this situation ever. Now, to kind of put it in perspective for you guys, I always bring extra extension cables, of course. I have two 50-footers that I use sometimes. I have a bunch of 25-footers that I use every time I play. And then I have two 50-footers that I never even open. They're there just in case I need them. And I've been dragging them around for quite a while. Well, on this particular gig, I pulled those out, had to not only use my backup extension cables, but actually had to end up running back up to where the reception is and started pulling my extension cables off of that system just so I could get enough length for the ceremony. So everything was a little bit chaotic. It ended up working out just fine, but definitely didn't have time to get footage for you guys. So that was the situation I ran into, the technical difficulties I ran into. And you know, part of these gig logs is to show you guys the behind the scenes and sort of what I deal with from gig to gig anyways. So that's what happened. I made it work. Everything ended up fine. And I got it done, but it definitely cut into my time. As for now, let's continue with the video. We're going to look at the venue, the footage I did get. Also, of course, look at some footage of the party as well. And then I'll be back at the end of the video to wrap this all up. right, guys, that does it for this gig log. And despite a few technical difficulties, everything worked out. It was a fun gig, and hopefully you guys liked the video. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.